Hello everyone, welcome back to LOR. We have had a couple weeks of break, but we are back. We are now in F1 2020. The new game has come out. We are here in Austria. I am with my co-commentator once again in the pit lane. It is Biggles. Hello.
Welcome everybody. I hope everybody's had a great little break. I'm really excited about to see what these guys will do.
Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, I need to turn that game volume down because I forgot that I turned the F1 2019 game down. Now I need to adjust system volume. I'm gonna turn that down to around 38. We'll see if that works. Yeah, that should do the. Based on what we're hearing right now, that should do the trick. Anyways, welcome back. We're in Austria for qualifying. We apologize for being in Austria in 3 consecutive weeks. Both F1 for the first 2 weeks. Technically, the second was the Styrian Grand Prix, but we all know it's the same track. And we're back here again in Austria for week 3. This is where we're resuming in the new game. We're back once again for round 7 out of 12 of the Assist 1 League. Race results for last weekend, for the last race we had, was in Belgium Freeware. The reserve driver won that race. Gypsy coming in second, but it was 1 point away from taking the championship lead. Charles Non-Crash still has that championship lead with 72 points, just by 1 point, and Gypsy is not here to defend his championship, or not to defend the championship, to try and take it back. So today for Charles is all about maximizing what he can do today and getting ahead of his championship rival. Anyways, Biggles, what do you have to say about Austria? Very short track.
Extremely short, yes, definitely.
What people can do around here. Gonna turn down the volume a bit more for you guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks, obviously, that before you know it, the lap's over and you're starting another one. So, not many corners, as you know. It's literally just a just over 4 kilometer circuit with maximum speed around 327, I believe it is. Most of the drivers are on pretty much full throttle about 80% of the time during this. About 32 gear changes per lap. The fuel is about 1.5 kilograms of fuel they lose. About a 16-second pit lane time. So obviously all the drivers will be required to do at least 1 pit stop during the race, so that will obviously cost everybody at least 16 seconds.
Yeah. Meanwhile, so far on the qualifying, I was gonna say Charles had pole position. He did at one point, but now he's dropping back. Yoda with the qualifying lead, the pole position so far 1032. Charles though on podium was impressive what he had because he's on the medium tires in that Ferrari. Ferrari, if you've been following Formula 1 this season, have not had the best of luck, not build the best car this year.
They have not. They've been struggling, but I believe that they kind of expected that at the start of the season, so they have upgrades planned. And Ferrari being Ferrari, they sometimes it seems like that they're down and out, but they tend to be a team that rebounds very quickly. Ferrari's passion, the Italian passion, is motor racing, and Ferrari's always been around and a strong contender.
Yeah. Another thing we should mention here is I'm just getting used to the new spectating menu. I don't like when you have to do. One of the things I liked on the old game, don't like on this game, is you have to, when you select a new driver to spectate, you have to click the arrow down and then hit spectate, and it kind of did that for you in last year's game. So camera transition is gonna have to get adjusted to that. Anyways, one thing we wanted to mention On our banner, we are featuring the LOR logo and the We Races One logo. The initiative started by F1 to tackling the fight against COVID-19 and the condemnation of racism and inequality. And we'll be running with that logo for as long as definitely for the rest of season 1, and as long as F1 is running it, definitely we're supporting as we see a qualifying grid. Ooh, and Freeware kind of spins himself around trying to come into the pit lane. He's ghosted, luckily, but my mouse is right in the way. So actually, no, it's not on your screen, which is a good thing. But so far, we'll see Starrett, reserve driver in the Mercedes, still out on 3-lap old soft tires. Just trying to take advantage of just the the relative length, just the short length of this track. But even so, being out for 3 laps, now he's leaving the other Mercedes of Sherlock Homeboy room. So he's definitely going into the pits this lap.
Yeah, exactly. And also, as you said before about the open, fight against racism, equality, and so forth.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about this kind of racing league, is the fact that obviously everybody here is all around different parts of the world. We're all from different races and everything, so this is a great way, obviously, to get into racing, chat to people, join the Discord, join the Twitch feed, and really just mix with a whole bunch of people from all over the world. And I've really had a lot of fun, obviously during the coronavirus pandemic period. So yeah, who's running a little slow there? Just like Sherlock.
Yeah, Sherlock's new. Yeah, we got a fair number of new people here. Sherlock, Greer's in here. Cute anime girl who is on their outlap. Who else is new here? Muniz has done I believe those two are the only new people in this field, but we do have a good number of new people entering the league, as we're gonna go on board with Cute Anime Girl for their lap. Coming down the longest straight, coming through the tiny little kink that is classified as turn 2. Getting up towards turn 3, maybe could have done it a little earlier, but still maximizing their speed well as they get onto what could be called the back straight, coming up to turn 4. Any other fast drivers you're seeing so far out here?
Not at the moment, just trying to get an idea of what's going on there. Pineapples is really slow in the last sector. I'm not quite sure he's doing this off the side of the road. Yoda is about to start the climb.
Anyways,
He has right now. Yeah.
Cute Anime Girl, yellow flags. There's someone off the circuit. I believe that was an Alpha Tauri off the circuit. Do you know who that is?
That's Pineapple. I believe he's out of fuel.
Ah, out of fuel. I see. Cute Anime Girl across the line, improves the P16 2 positions with a 105.825. Definitely good to see these new guys coming out and the first lap wasn't the best, but coming out and really improving, getting in with the mix of other drivers. Same with Sherlock Homeboy. They've been out for a while. They've been out for too long. In my opinion, 5 laps, but there's 13th, really putting on a display. Duck Lovers, actually, I didn't notice, but he now has pole position 103.1.
Yep, Duck Lovers has done this before in the past. He's definitely a very quick driver.
Yeah, likes to extend his tires. Likes to maximize the tire life. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But for the most part, it works out. What's a bigger concern to Duck Lovers, though, is whether he finishes. Because half of his races, he has DNFs, had things go wrong or end up in a crash or something. But the other half, where he has finished the races, always been in the top 4. Has not won a race yet, but always consistently good. It's just a matter of whether he finishes.
That's right. Duck Lovers is currently 6th in the championship right now, as you said, with the 3 DNFers, Singapore, Germany, and the last race in Belgium. He has finished 3rd, 2nd, and 4th. 3rd in Canada, 2nd in Baku, and 4th in Mexico. So, yeah. Obviously Charles Non-Crash is the current championship leader. Gypsy, as you said earlier, is not available for this race, unfortunately. So, Freeware and Henners are both in this race, and they're currently reserve drivers running the 3rd and 4th.
Freeware has won the last 2 races, and as the reserve driver, cannot improve with his lap. Although it was showing that it was the lap, and now it's saying 0 laps, so it might have been an out lap. It's annoying now because it's having the same problems as last game. The last game did that to me sometimes, so that's annoying having that same problem. Now it shows up. Now Freeware has pole position with a 1:03.0. Oh, but Henners improves. There's a Ferrari coming up to the line. That is Charles, but he's on his out lap. Let's go on board with him. Oh, is he actually running Charles's number? Can you actually run the driver's numbers in this game online?
No, I've renamed the telemetry data to their name, so I don't have the number.
Wait, no, he has number 16. So apparently on multiplayer you can use any of the driver's numbers, which is certainly interesting.
So Charles is, where is he at the moment? He's cleared the traffic.
Yeah, he's come to the end of Sector 2.
Let's have a look. Looks like Gotta Hellfire is improving a little bit. Yoda set the fastest first sector. We'll keep an eye on Yoda.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Yoda after Charles finishes his lap. Charles won the very first LOR race in league race in history at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. What can he do? Coming across the line, only improves 1 place, 1:03.3. Then going to Yoda, you said he had the fastest first sector. He's coming up to the end of the second sector. Was that fastest second sector too?
Yes, fastest first sector. I think the telemetry data comes up there. It's so quick in this. He's not really compromised by a car behind, and Yoda will cross the line. What will he do?
Third place, 1:03.0.
So he'll improve the P3.
That's 46 hundredths behind Freeware.
Yep, look at this times right now. Almost a second separating first to 8th position right now. Kind of as we expected from this league. These guys are very, very similar.
Yeah. Sterrett came across the line, couldn't improve. Ezzy 9-time now on his first lap, I believe. I'm not sure. But goes wide into turn 1 and is slowing down. So that might not have been his first lap. See, there's a racing point coming across the line. Oh, that will be Striffium's out lap. Who's gonna be the decision? As we have 4 people left in this qualifying session.
Yep, 4 minutes remaining. Track temperature is perfect at the moment, 30 degrees. Air temperature 22, so it's the perfect conditions. I think a lot of these guys want to try across the line.
Sterrett has set the fastest sector 2. You're on board with him. Running the numbers, running Valtteri Bottas's number. I don't think their custom numbers are loading into the game. That's what I think is going on. Sterrett coming across the line. What will he do? That is only good for P9, 1:04.0. That is second behind the leader. But still Sterrett showing very good potential. Was able to really maximize Sector 2. So, watch out for him there during the race. That's where he could make some of his overtakes. Duck Lovers and Squiddy going into the pits. They might just barely have time for another lap, as they have 3 minutes left in this qualifying session.
So, who's next up for a fast lap. Looks like Pineapple's on a quick lap. He's way down right now, absolute last place, so he has to really try to put a banker in there if he wants to try to at least start a little bit further up into the grid.
Yep. It's interesting to see. He's running 26, so it's just the regular F1 driver's numbers. Hopefully they get that sorted. Coming across the line, 105.9, so close to improving, but not just there yet. Got a Hellfire across the line, did not improve. 2 minutes 20 left in the session. There's a Racing Point coming across the line. That will be Muniz, but he'll be starting his lap. As Henner sets the fastest lap of the session, 102.954.
Let's see what Iron Hammer can do as he crosses the line.
Starting his lap, I believe.
Yes, just 2 minutes left. Charles Leclerc now, he's on a flyer. He's out lap, so he'll be already starting the line there.
Yeah, Iron Hammer is basically like, basically in this league, basically the Red Bull second driver. Good team, Iron Hammer and Duck Lovers. So Iron Hammer always usually finishing in the low points. Duck Lovers either DNFing or finishing in the high points. Iron Hammer is definitely the more consistent driver of the two, though.
Got a Hellfire's box. Mikhail's going to cross the line now. What can Mikhail do?
Does not improve. Wow, that
Sweet.
is interesting. That is interesting. I think he's on his first lap as he comes out side by side with a Mercedes. I believe that is Sherlock.
So check on board right now, Charles. It looks like Charles is on a blistering lap right now. He's set the fastest first sector.
All right, sweet.
Final sector right now. He's improved in his personal best, although it's not a perfect.
Oh, and he goes onto the grass. Really trying to improve that time. We have the regular corner cutting limits here because how strict some of the strict corner cutting rules can be. Sets the fastest sector 3, but not good enough. 103.040. Next across the line should be Mikhail.
It'll be Mikhail, that's right. He's on the last couple of corners now.
Mikhail, actually very similar helmet design to what I created for my first helmet in this game. Mikhail takes the fastest lap away from Henner's, 102.760. That is 2/10 faster than Henner's.
That's a blistering pace. Where did that just come? Where did he pull that out of?
It's Mikhail. He's able to pull these things out. Ziploc is the first to finish in 11th place. That is very common qualifying position for Ziploc. Has been able to finally find the points these last 2 races. Hopefully he'll be able to continue. Henner's cannot improve over Mikhail. That'll be his qualifying session done. Yoda, he had pole position, but now he's going into the pits. Cannot improve on his lap. Next across the line is Duck Lovers.
He'll not improve. Squiddy, what will Squiddy do? No. Any improvement there as well? Freeway boxes, Charles boxes. I think that's most of everybody else is returning. What about
Strithium is pulling off to the side. Same with Mikhail, letting Jetty through. Jetty or Schumacher will be referring to him as both. Coming across the line. That is improvement of 1 place up to P15. Everyone else in the pits. So what you see on the qualifying side, that will be your full grid order for the race.
Very interesting. The only driver will be Munz, starting in P14 on the the medium con.
Yeah, only one to qualify there. That will be interesting. We'll see what everybody decides to go for in terms of strategy, in terms of what I can do at least on my team. Definitely different with driver. Definitely different with multiplayer with real drivers. Is the circuit like Austria. Like I'm not very pacey, but I can definitely hold off drivers pretty well. So I usually just go for the undercut. Try to gain some positions during the others' pit stops, and just really extend those medium tires.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, the mediums do perform a lot better in this. Obviously, the softs will give you a little bit extra performance, as these guys obviously need as well, because if you really look at it right now, we have Macau obviously qualified in 102.7, and then all the way down to Easy in P7. So they're within 1 second now. Easy is just 0.7 off the pace of Macau, and then you have this midfield battle you're going to see. So from God all the way down to Cram Soup, all within, actually further down, my bad, Iron Hammer. So from God all the way down to Iron Hammer, God's in P8, Iron Hammer's down in P16. They're then basically in that second middle field, shall we say, being about a second to 2 seconds off the pace. And then you have a few of the other drivers there, like Griggy and Squid Eye, Pineapples, and cute Anime Girl. Just completely a little bit off the pace, just struggling with the car right now.
Yeah.
They're having little issues.
Here's your grid for the upcoming race. Mikau, pole position. Henners, Freeware, Charles, Yoda, Duck Lovers, Ezzy, Hellfire. Those are your front 4 rows. You have Striphium, Starrett, Ziploc, Sherlock Homeboy, Cram Soup, Muniz, Schumacher, Iron Hammer, Grigor, Squiddy, Dirty Pineapples, and finally, Cute Anime Girl. And we are going to go to the race intro video. We will see you in just a second. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Austrian GP. It accidentally skipped forward a little bit. I'm sorry about that, but little slideshow. But we are here for round 7 of the Assist 1 League in Lights Out Racing for the Austrian GP. Is a bit of an awkward wording. And it's the 18th race in LOR Season 1. We are here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. The 10-turn circuit, arguably 8-turn circuit. Depends on how you count the number of turns. But anyway, we're here. Austria and Styrian. In the Austrian and Styrian GP, we had the 2 Mercedes, Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton, your 2020 F1 winners. Your fastest lap time around the Red Bull Ring, 1:05.619, set by a blistering Carlos Sainz in the Styrian GP. Your standings are Charles Non-Crash in the championship, leading 72 points. Tipsy right behind 71. Then it's the 2 reserves of Freeware and Henners, and Squiddy rounding out the top 5. Here towards the midfield of Racing Points in 18th and 19th, 7 and 6 points. Then we have the newer people. Grigor in his first race got 4 points. Ziploc finally finding 10th place in the last 2 races in Mexico and Belgium. And Kandachi and Gergetti has not yet scored. Has just been the unluckiest driver here, DNF'd in all of his outings. In the constructor standings, we have Alpha Tauri 74, Ferrari and Mercedes tied with 72. Those are the ones to watch out for. Gypsy is gone, so Mercedes will suffer with that. And there's Red Bull, Haas, McLaren, Renault, Racing Point, Alfa Romeo, and Williams at the back. Just like in real life these past couple seasons, unfortunately, they've been a championship winning team. But All the drivers are now in their AI modes. They are rolling up to the grid as we are going to get started with this race. As I'm going to try and find the best camera angle to go at. I think it's just an overhead view for I think it's just the standard overhead view. So, Biggles, anything to say quickly before the lights come on?
Absolutely excited, and let's get this underway. 2020.
We have the crowd in the stands. Not something we could say for real life, but we're glad to have it. We're glad to have the crowd in a simulated environment as we wait for the lights to come on. Green flags are waving. All we need to do is wait for those 5 red lights. Mikau in pole position. Right next to him is Henners. Freeware. Charles non-crash here, top 4. Will Charles be able to keep the lead of his championship? Will one of the reserves be able to steal it from him? We're just sitting at the grid, waiting for the red lights to come on. I think there's someone who must not be connecting because we have been sitting here for so long. There must, yeah.
We might see somebody disconnected. That will be a glitch. However, if they do disconnect, the race will resume.
Up, here come the 5 red lights. They're coming on in Austria. And it's lights out racing at the Red Bull Ring. Mikau having a very good start, able to defend his lead. Hender's losing in second place, a little bit of contact. Charles going wide as Ziploc has already retired from the session. Now Duck Lover is coming up the grid, slotting into 4th place as he watched all the cars coming through turn 2, and there's already a VSC. Must be for Ziploc and Iron Hammer. Those must be the 2 that had a collision at turn 1, as is Ziploc just out of the race at the Niki Lauda curve.
Crash there from Ziploc. He's in the McLaren. He went.
We
a little bit. He slid across there from the main straight and into the wall to the right there. Obviously, there might have been some contact there with Iron Hammer, as Iron Hammer had fallen all the way back to the last place as well. I can't quite see him on a little bit.
Yeah. Sherlock Homeboy has a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Strithium. Gonna look at his car. Their car seems to be intact. That's the good news. I don't know where that collision came from, but it was full course yellows. Everyone's trailing behind each other for now. It's showing Ezzy 9-time in the lead. And it suddenly jumped to lap 3. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, my telemetry is actually showing lap 2, which is good.
Okay, and now it's reset. Now it's reset, and everybody is back in this race. Good shit. We got Sherlock Homeboy trying. He's got to try to improve the places. Goes for a dive bomb with John Sterrett. In turn 4, they are side by side. Coming through sector 2 to turn 5. Who's going to get the edge? It will be Sherlock Homeboy, who overtakes Sterrett. What a move with that dive bomb into turn 4 down the inside. Moving on to God of Hellfire. He's pretty close to Yoda. Yoda just slipping away, just having the pace advantage. But we're going to go with Duck Lovers. He is fighting with Henners. He has gone from 5th to 3rd, I believe, in just a matter of laps. Is he going to try something down turn 3? He's going to look down the outside. It's not going to happen as Freeware slots in right behind Duck Lovers. This is a fight for P2 that we're watching here now. It's just a yellow flag. That is Schumacher. Something must have happened with him as they're now side by side. I think there's a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. But Duck Lovers is able to slot behind Henners. Henners keeps his position for now.
Yeah, the top top drivers. Mikhail's getting a little bit of a gap right now. Here, he's out of the DRS range, 0.6 seconds as he sets the fastest second sector. He's definitely trying to build that gap right now over the Henners in P2. But obviously, you've got Henners, Duck, Freeware, Charles, Yoda. They're all really.
Oh, and Freeware losing it on the curbs. That is his race done. Right in the middle of the straight. That will probably bring out a safety car. That is so unfortunate for Freeware. He's won the last 2 races, and he just loses it on the curbs of the final corner. That's real. I've tested this track out in time trials. That last curb is really nasty, and it has claimed Freeware today. And this unfortunate sight. He was battling so hard with Duck Lovers.
Yep, the virtual safety car has been deployed. I thought it would be a full safety car, but it hasn't.
Yeah, me too.
So his car is still on the main straight at the moment. So with those marshals a little bit slow in the 2020 game, as Mikhail approaches the 3rd sector now, essentially still leading the race there. We still have a little bit of a gap behind Easy there. There's a little bit of a gap.
Ooh, and a couple of people have got speeding under VSC penalties. That would be Muniz and Sherlock Homebud, the reserve drivers. And trying to find the particular battles to watch, although it should still be that battle in front. Now it's just Duck Lovers and Henners. We're going to go on board with Duck Lovers. Again, he's either finishes in the top 4 or DNFs, and he is in 3rd place right now, showing what kind of a driver he is. Hender's trying to lose Duck Lovers, trying to get him out of the dirty air, but Duck Lovers going to go down the inside easy as you like, but hold my horses. Commentator's curse. Henners takes the inside line, it's a little switchback, and Henners is able to keep P2 coming out of turn 6. Commentator's curse working in Henners' favor then.
Definitely, there's no time. There's not much time between these 2 guys. At the moment, there's Yoda sitting a faster second sector there. Faster second sector.
Well, meanwhile, Charles Non-Crash has closed the gap. He's getting very close to Duck Lovers. Charles thinks about a move, but he's going to save it. The tuck back behind. And now Duck Lovers going on the outside of Henners. On that long back straight. Henners does not have it. Charles going down the grass, and it's 3 wide. There's ping pong. Henners being tapped all over. Duck Lovers able to get to P2. And Henners, ooh, he's just lost it. It's also just ping pong action between the other drivers. And I saw an end plate. I believe that might have been a Ferrari end plate, but that's just me being very speculative. No, but I was actually right. That is Charles Non-Crash, who has lost an end plate with the whole ping pong scenario.
Yeah, definitely going to cost him. He's in 5th place right now. He is about 3 seconds off God of Hellfire, and will struggle a lot with that Ferrari. Definitely with a little bit of damage. Just a little bit of damage is not a great deal, but obviously in this track, with these high-speed downforce corners, and he boxes.
Same with Yoda. And Starrett also boxing, maybe having damage, maybe going for an early stop strategy. Mikhail pulling 2 seconds over Duck Lovers, not as dominant as he has been in previous races. That's definitely good to see. He's able to build gaps really quickly, and 2-second gap is definitely significant, but like he's been able to build bigger gaps before, so it's nice to see that there's still some competition going on. Meanwhile, we're gonna look at the fight for 11th, I think. Yeah, telemetry is kind of off, but yes, Ironhammer and Grigor are currently having a fight. Grigor kind of stuck behind Ironhammer for now, and didn't have the best turn 4. But you were gonna say something?
It looked like the Squiddy was like only a couple of seconds off Cram Soup, but that is actually incorrect.
Yeah.
It's just the game glitching a little bit there, because on track, he's quite a little bit behind Cram Soup there.
Charles, when he pit for his front wing, he decided to go to hard tires. So it potentially could be running those to the end of the race. Same with Muniz, which definitely interesting to see. Cram Soup going down the outside on the straight of Stripium, and that will be an easy move. Cram Soup up into P6.
Yep, gained 7 positions from the start of the race, so looking good for him right now. He's behind Hennes, putting a little pressure all over Hennes, however you want to pronounce it. So Hennes also dropped 3 places from his starting position, so Mikhail builds a little bit more of a lead there over Duck, 3.1 seconds. Duck is...
Meanwhile, Charles trying to pass Starrett, and Starrett trying to pass Schumacher. It's going to be too wide. Starrett and Schumacher. Charles is really enjoying this. He's staying a bit too close behind them, but this battling is very good for him. As Starrett manages to make his way past Schumacher, and now it's Ferrari versus Ferrari coming down to turns 9 and 10. Charles will get the advantage. It's going to be kind of 3 wide coming into turn 10. That will be Charles of the P14, but wait a second, he's going to get Starrett here. He's going to get into P13.
Yep,
and there's contact with Starrett. What happened with Starrett? He went off onto the grass. Was there contact there on that move?
I didn't see any contact. It's just like that. Charles has made the place up over his teammate. Now he's going to put the pressure all over the back of the Mercedes driver, and it looks like he's going to make the pass. Looks pretty comfortable. Yeah. Oh, there's a little bit of off spin there too, from the Mercedes driver there.
Yeah.
He's dropped 2 places to both of the Ferrari drivers, so I am sure Toto Wolff will not be happy with that.
He will not. Pineapples, meanwhile, on the back of Grigor. He's been on the back of him for a while, just waiting for the opportunity, kind of losing him through Sector 3. Not a good place to lose the car. Does not have overtake mode enabled. Interesting to see if or when these drivers are going to use the overtake. I hope it's manual. I hope they have that option to use it. Gonna turn on the Yep, they do. He's using it now. Dirty Pineapples trying to get the inside line on turn 3, and that will be Dirty Pineapples up into P11. A good calculated move. Couldn't get it done Sector 3, but he strategized, was able to figure out where he could get the move done, and made it happen.
Different strategy. Obviously, Pineapple's starting all the way down at the back of the field. He has to try to just, obviously, with the different strategy, whether or not he's listening to Jeff or not, as he boxes from 4th place.
Coming in on P... Oh, sorry, everyone, but coming in on lap 11. You're going to see he's replacing his front wing. Must have had some damage somewhere. And is going on to another set of softs. So I think it's going to be soft, medium. I'm going to try and go for the 2-stop.
2-stop. At the moment, the only driver who is in the top 10 is Yoda. So he boxed on lap 6, I believe, and got rid of those softs and went straight on to the medium. So if he's going to do a medium run to the end, which they can do it, pretty good right now, because in P6 he's 20 seconds off the leader. I believe that the pit stop was around 16 seconds, so he could easily get a podium position. Yeah.
Schumacher, though, trying to attack Ezzy. Both have new tires on. Ezzy has the tire advantage, though, on the softs. Schumacher has the mediums. Ezzy starting to pull away, though. Oh, and there's movement going on as more people pit. Duck Lovers, Henners, and Strifium all in the pits. All going for mediums, I think.
Yeah, I would probably suggest the mediums, unless you had the box earlier. to go switch to the hards, but the mediums have pretty good pace, especially towards the end of the race as well. I've seen in many occasions as well that the medium tires are almost on par.
Sorry, Charles and Henners are battling coming up to turn 3. This helicopter aerial view is very, very nice, and Henners will be, I think Henners is behind him. I'm not sure who was in front of who, actually, but he managed to overtake him. But now Charles just has the pace coming down to turn 4. Was going to go for the switchback. Did not work. Henners was just there to block it. Touched the front wing to the back side of the car, but nothing happened, luckily. That. As we have Muniz and Starrett in the back of the field, trying that battle. And meanwhile, Mickow and God of Hellfire, the leaders, have now gone into the pits.
They have now fresh rubber. See what sort of pace that they can do. Duck Lovers had set the fastest second sector on the fresh medium compound. His last lap, well, obviously out of the box, doesn't really represent it. Ezzy right now is one of the fastest drivers on track at 107.2. He's back in P10, but he's on the fresh soft compound, as you mentioned earlier, after his pit stop, and also having to replace a front wing. So he's got the pace, but unfortunately he has a lot of work to do.
Yeah, definitely a lot of work to do. Meanwhile, Duck Lover is sitting behind Cram Soup, and I was gonna go for the overtake coming into turn 9, and he has it done. And as Cram Soup does decide to go into the pits on 12 lap old softs. I think must have pit earlier in this race. Yeah, pretty much had to go into the pits then.
Yeah, he was losing too much time towards the end there, and that's the reason.
Ooh, Iron Hammer spun. Iron Hammer spun in turn 9. And he's still spinning as he's trying to make his way to the pit lane, I believe. That is disaster for Iron Hammer. Will not be happy about that for sure. No, he's just lost control. No, he's just lost control of his car, I think. Now he's regained control, but he won't be able to pit. That's going to be a big shame for him. He's just a driver that really consistently does well.
Yep, he had to reset the car because in the game, if you do... Oh, he's really struggling right now with those tires. If you do... he's missed the pit lane entrance, so he's going to have to go around another lap. If you do, in this game, if people are not aware, if you do reverse on the grid, you get disqualified from the game. Yeah. So what some of the drivers have to do then is do like a reset to track, where it resets the car in the track, which also is an inconvenience to obviously other drivers that are on fast laps and so forth, as they see a car just appear in the middle of the road. So those are the game issues that everybody's aware of.
Yeah.
And we do see a lot of those cars as they try to enter, because it's a very tricky pit lane entrance, in Austria. So as they if they make a mistake in the pit lane entrance and you just like clip the wall or spin off a little bit, you're in a lot of trouble. So Iron Hammer boxes.
Oh, there's battling between Striphium and Schumacher. Coming down the back straight to turn 3, but then Striphium has the lead, but runs wide through turn 3. That'll give Schumacher an opportunity. Is about to switch away. Is on the back of him, gonna make a move coming into turn 4. Gonna try and go down the inside. They come close to contact. And Schumacher's a bit of a lockup. It's a bit of a lockup as Striphium is able to go around the outside and take advantage. Good battling as we see.
Different tire strategy as well. As Schumacher is on 14 lap old mediums, he started on the mediums, I believe. So no, it's showing you fresh shot. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, and Schumacher runs really wide out of turn 10. That won't be good for his chances. Still somehow pretty close, within a second. Ooh, and that's Striphium making yet another mistake. Now will he be able to capitalize coming on that back straight? His left wheel a bit in the grass. But will he manage to get ahead? Yes, he will. But Striphium sticking his nose in a little bit. So sticking his nose in the last time a driver stuck his nose in at this track did not end up good for at least one Ferrari. Turned out to be both of them. But it's
like the pink Mercedes is paying off right now.
Yeah, able to get ahead. It's a good battle we're seeing. Just both equally able to capitalize on the others' mistakes, but both of them are still making mistakes themselves. It's just gonna come down to who make the least amount of mistakes. Schumacher runs wide again, but though not as much as the last time he came around turn 10. Yeah, Schumacher's just always getting the better exit through the Niki Lauda curve through turn 1. Yet again, coming through on the back straight. It's in the long straight. Although, no, Striffium is going to be better under braking, but he's going to go wide again. Same old tale between these two drivers. Now, let's go Striffium's perspective. Turn 4, will it be the same thing? This time, Schumacher doesn't lock up, but he goes wide. Striffium going to go the switchback move. It's just the same moves in the same places, but it's still entertaining to watch.
Certainly is nothing between these two guys. The Ferrari driver and once again the pink Mercedes. And that is what they are now calling the racing plan. And gonna make a move there. Does Striffium move past Schumacher again?
Is your... No, your stream must be very delayed, because that happened a while back. They're coming up to turn 1 now. Striffium definitely getting a good turn 1, but Schumacher has a way better of a turn 1. Schumacher is Jetty for the rest, for the longer time viewers. Now Striffium going down the inside of the late dive bomb is able to keep that position. Wow. As you see, there's a Renault, there's Cram Soup. What happened to him? Fell all the way back to P10. Had an incident coming out of turn 3. That is not usual of him.
Yeah, good. It's amazing this battle that Striffium has right now. Sorry, Schumacher has with Striffium, because Schumacher still needs to box. He's running those mediums long. So I think I have telemetry information wrong.
Yeah, I also have telemetry information wrong, so not just you. There you go, Schumacher finally getting a good exit out of turn 10. But I don't think it'll be enough to challenge at turn 1. He's going to have to yet again go at that back straight. Striffium has his best turn 1 so far, though he does run a bit into the grass. I'm not so sure if Schumacher's going to catch up this time. So he's come up the hill. No, Schumacher will have to wait until turn 4 again.
So this is going to be interesting to see. Let's have a look at Charles. Charles is in P6 in the Ferrari there. He's the one that's running on the hard tires after an early pit stop to get rid of those softs. He's been running on those hards for 12 laps, but obviously those hards can easily run to the end of the race. Now,
oh, he's losing the back end a little bit, but somehow manages to keep it straight. And somehow didn't manage to lose any time, because even with losing the back end, that just really showing Charles' skill there.
Yeah, he's 20 seconds now behind the leaders. Now, obviously, there's not going to be. I don't think there'd be an issue from Macau to go to the end there. He's got pretty fresh medium tires there. Maybe a little bit of an issue for Yoda. He's 12 lap medium, so whether he can bring them to the end. Duck Lovers, God of Hellfire, Hannah's, no, not a problem I think for those guys to run to the end. So Charles is in a different strategy, but whether or not it will pay off or not, if anything, he may be able to gain one position, but I'm not quite sure if he can do anything else right now to battle these guys in the championship.
I'm gonna go to Schumacher, trying to battle Striffium again. He's been stuck behind him for longer this time, though. As to commentate this, I'm trying to think of it. Duck Lovers in P3. That would be 15 points. Where he's at right now, he'd jump up to, actually no, he wouldn't jump up to 4th place because Henrys is in 5th. So, I think Duck Lovers would jump up a point in the championship with the finishing order as it is right now.
Have it, and we are seeing the Macau dominance that we've seen before. 5.1 seconds ahead of Yoda. There are no penalty at the moment.
Sorry, Cream Soup is getting involved in this battle. It's gonna be 3 wide. Schumacher has to brake to avoid contacting Stryfium, and Cream Soup bangs wheels with Schumacher. Luckily, no damage just because it was wheel to wheel. There, but it's a 3-horse race for P8 between Stryfium, Schumacher, and Cream Soup. Schumacher locks up. Cream Soup not able to take advantage though, not really too much room. And Cream Soup runs really wide through turn 6 in the way I usually do, but Schumacher losing it at the end of turn 6. That'll be Cream Soup into P9. Schumacher behind. Let's see what he can do on this back straight. I said the back straight is start finish straight, but that is not where he shines. Schumacher really doing it on the front straight, really. Oh, and Duck Lovers, I didn't even see this. Duck Lovers and Yoda battling through Sector 3. Coming up to turn 9, they're side by side. This is for P2 of the race. Duck Lovers sticking behind Yoda right now, but coming on to the straight. Will that change? Going on forward with Duck Lovers. Yoda's going to hold it out. Coming into the Lauda curve. But what about this back straight? This is where drivers have gained advantage in this race.
Yeah,
and now Duck Lover's going to have to stay behind.
Whether or not Yoda is struggling right now with 15 lap old mediums. His pace is a 107.5, whereas Duck Lover's...
Duck Lover's going for the switchback. We have the room. It's still Yoda car length ahead. Yeah, Yoda's still going to be able to keep P2. But taking the left inside line, just defending from Duck Lovers making that move. We're going to stay on board with Duck Lovers. He's coming up. No, he's going to decide to stick behind him. Going to decide to try it and pass him on one of these two upcoming straights. Duck Lovers has the DRS. He's catching up. He's just going to make a move at turn 1. That'll be Duck Lovers into P2 of this race. But will Yoda have DRS? No, Duck Lovers will have DRS from that activation point, but I'm sure Yoda will try to defend his position. Because in P2, it'll just be a question of when. As Duck Lovers is now starting to pull away a little bit from Yoda, the Yoda kind of making up the time coming into turn 4. Though it will have to wait. Duck Lovers pretty much secured P2 for now.
Definitely those fresher medium compound tires going to give them a little bit more traction, especially around the outside corners there when you're going to get a good, hit the apex and get a good exit speed there. A little bit more traction is definitely going to help it. But look at the clouds right now.
Yeah.
The track which is now
Schumacher in the pits is going. He's been staying on the softs. Might get a penalty at the end of the race because he's only had that one compound of tire.
23 laps.
It says 23 laps. It says 23 laps on my screen too. It must be an error.
I believe. Yeah, no, I think it's correct actually. I think telemetry is also showing me a very similar thing. He's boxed now, so
weird.
It'll probably update in a second with the new compound.
Oh, Duck Lovers and Yoda back at it again. Come through that back straight again. This time there will be a challenge at turn 3, and I say that no, Duck Lovers is able to keep it there. I say it's there on the wrong part of the circuit. I meant turn 4.
Yeah, just to confirm before, I believe Schumacher had done 23 laps on the medium compounds, and he's now out on the soft, so the 23.
No, I thought Schumacher's on the other compounds, and is that rain? I believe I see rain droplets coming down on the track. Yes.
The track had dropped 3 degrees from the start of the race, and the air temperature is now down to 19. So, yeah, those clouds are moving in. Whether it's going to have an impact at the end of this race, we still have 11 laps to go.
Yeah, to borrow a line for to slightly alter a phrase. No, I can't say that right now because Yoda has surged past Duck Lovers back into P2. What a move down the back straight. Duck Lover is going to try to defend, though. Is right behind Yoda. Is he going to make a move down the inside of turn 4? No, he's going to stay behind. And yeah, that will be Yoda ahead for a bit. But as I was going to say, borrowing a line from the Sonic Adventure 2 fandom, he's kind of adjusting a little bit. The rain droplets are coming down. In Austria, the question is when or if, because this rain might go away very quickly, we don't know. But when will these drivers decide to pit for inters? This game, like when the rain comes in this game, when it pours down, like it comes quickly, and the conditions for inters very quick in this game. From when the rain comes down to when you have to pit, definitely notice. Other drivers I've heard, it's noticeably quicker in this game than it was in 2019.
I believe that they are all going to be listening to Jeff. I believe Jeff has been employed again as the race engineer for all the drivers in 2020. So welcome back, Jeff. So when Jeff gives them the call, generally for the intermediate tires is when most of the drivers you'll see start boxing and change the tire compound.
Yep. Duck Lovers is sticking behind Yoda still, within 0.4 of a second. And 2 gonna pull up that telemetry. Is using overtake mode, is on very low ERS, trying to catch up. What about Yoda then? Yoda has a bit more ERS than Duck Lovers, using the DRS and using a little bit of overtake down the straight. Can't use as much as he'd like. They're gaining a lot of ERS at the end of turn 1. That's something I've definitely noticed in career mode. Coming out of turn 1, you gain a lot of ERS. As Muniz and Schumacher are the first drivers to pit for intermediates, taking the gamble, coming out early, that's what they need to do if they're far back in the grid. They need... The question is, when will the leaders come in, and how far will Muniz and Starrett come up the grid, or will they fall back? Is this not the time for inters yet?
I mean, obviously, if you're further back at the moment, it's probably worthwhile taking a gamble. However, the times are still looking very good right now at the front. They're still lapping in the 108s and the 107s, so.
Oh, and Yoda has glitched back. That was very weird. Yoda glitched back. And Duck Lovers is now in P2. I don't know exactly what happened. But there we go. Dirty Pineapple's now in for inters. I think that might be what you were going to say.
Yeah, and my telemetry's a little bit lagging there as well.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at Munz's time there. So Munz just set. Oh, the times aren't linked. Let's about Schumacher then. What is Schumacher's last lap time? 1:36.3.
Yeah.
Those inters are not going to work yet.
Kid Anime Girl in the pits, probably going for inters as well.
Don't think it's ready yet.
No, I think no. They've gone on to softs.
Yeah, if I was race engineering right now, I would not recommend going to the inters because those lap times that the guys are doing at front right now, Macau's still doing a 108.4. Duck Lovers did a 108.
Oh, here's why Cute Anime Girl is losing time. They don't realize that their pit limiter isn't on, and they're just being passed. a ton in the pits.
Exactly. So, I mean, obviously, and then now they're slowing. Okay, now Macau's doing a 10. Macau's now, these guys are now lapping 2 seconds slower than they did in the last lap.
Henner's losing it at the end of turn 10. Here comes Charles non-crash down the main straight to the ladder curve. Is not going to make a dive bomb. Gonna save it for the back straight. Oh, and Charles into the wall. Just lost it. And that will be him out of the session. That brings out a safety car. And now I'm surprised this brings out a safety car and not freeware on the straights. But now this might give rise to a whole lot of people pinning for inters. That'll be seen. No, go ahead.
Ooh, as cute anime girl also had a little slippery and sliding all over the place there. So drivers are making mistakes. Now let's have a look. What will the leaders do? What will Macau do? What will Duck Lovers do?
Yeah, I am looking for Henners. Henner, I'm just seeing
boxing.
Macau boxing for inters. Maybe inters, maybe softs. We'll see what Macau can do. But Charles, like, must have just been that exit of turn 1. Must have just been that curve. I didn't see anything that seems like contact. That's a shame for the championship leader. Macau into the pits is going for the inters. Most everyone in the pits now for the intermediate tires. See, I'm just trying to calculate what happened. Henner, I'm just trying to figure it out. What if you get 18? 18. 7. Henner's currently in 5th place with Charles non-crash out of the race. If Henner's ends up in 3rd place, he will be in the tied lead of the championship. If he ends up in 1st or 2nd, he will be the new championship leader.
Wow, it's going to be exciting then. The new championship leader for the potential championship leader for the rest of the season, as we're only halfway through the season. Now, Squiddy, sorry, my apologies. I was going to say, he was the only one on the mediums, and he's now just boxed. So, he's not going to take the gamble.
Strippium taking a different kind of gamble on the soft tires that is showing me. I'm going to go on board with him, see if that's right. Yeah, he's on fresh soft tires. Very interesting. Definitely a gamble.
Yeah, 8th place. Am I showing 8th place there? Yes, I am. 9th place. Yeah, 9th place right now. 8th place, sorry.
Yep.
No,
yeah, 8th place for Strippium.
Yeah. So let's see. It is wet, and it probably is around the time. However, because we had the safety car, the last lap times that these guys were doing on the mediums was, as I said before, with Macau. They were doing about a 110.
Yeah, I think actually this is like the exact same time when the safety car came out in my career, in my team career in Austria. I think it was in like the exact same lap, exact same time in the race. Very interesting. Look, wait.
A little dash towards the end because the safety car probably will still remain out for another lap, as we still have a lot of the back markers trying to catch up there. We've got most of the cars right now into sector 2. We've got a bunch of cars in sector 3 and a couple just
and Strippium speeding in the pit lane. Not good. He's starting to make a second pit stop. I think now he's deciding it's time for inters. But question for you, as this safety car is going, what has been like the funniest, weirdest, most memorable moment in your My Team career for you so far, if you've done that?
Really? I don't really race that much, so I haven't had.
You don't really?
I'm sure there's funny stuff.
Yeah, here's what the favorite thing, like, what the funniest thing that I've seen happen. It's not funny if you're Roman Grosjean, but Grosjean got disqualified in Baku. But just Grosjean being disqualified again, just.
What, in crash out?
Yeah, no, disqualified. Just got too, I think just crashed out and like got too many penalties, I think.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the drivers now begin the lap 33 under the safety car as Ironhammer,
Yeah,
is
different
coming
drivers.
across the line. Struffium, Squiddy, they still have to catch the pack, as well as further back down there with Sherlock. Is that Sherlock?
Yeah.
And then cute
anime girl
out on the toss.
Sherlock is currently disconnected. His AI car. Ooh, and Schumacher has a penalty for a collision as he 9 time. 5 seconds for him.
Pineapples is in the pits. Maybe he's going to retire from this. Not quite sure what's happening there. Back in.
Wow, if Pineapples is in the pits for you, you are way behind. Safety car is in this lap.
Yep. And there we have it. So there'll be a little sprint there. A little 4-lap sprinter to the end. In these conditions, this is going to be an interesting restart. So the tires are going to be cold. You got to get a lot of heat into them. And now they're going to do this little dash. They're not used to what the conditions are on the track right now. They're going to have to just go full speed and accelerate.
Yeah.
They're not quite sure where the braking points are going to be and how much distance they're going to give the guys up ahead. But these are experienced drivers. They are used to it. So let's go on board and let's watch. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Mikow really likes to weave the tires and most importantly, to get that start very late. As I say that, now the drivers are away. As Duckler's kind of losing some time on the curb, but the driver to focus on right now is Henners. Can he get up to P3? No, he's lost a position. Had to move out of the way for Starrett, the AI car. Has a lot of back markers in front of him, a lot of AI back markers, and he's quite a fair bit behind. As he 9-time currently fighting Schumacher. Wow, Schumacher is disconnected as well. That's really interesting. Duck Lovers and Yoda battling once again, coming up to turn 4. But Duck Lovers will slot behind. Just waiting for his chance, and Yoda goes wide into the grass, and Duck Lovers will surge past. And as Cute Anime Girl is out at turn 6. Just did not brakes late. It felt the rain over the tires. Just went straight across the gravel and into the bollards. Out of the race. Henners now is just trying to get ahead of Muniz and God of Hellfire. And Muniz is the reserve was AI. Finally ahead. Henners has 2 laps if he wants wants to take this championship lead. It's gonna be hard for him to do that, but it's certainly possible. Anything could happen.
God of Hellfire has a 3-second time penalty, as you can see there. The only driver.
Oh, okay. Then what about Yoda?
Nobody else has any time penalties at the moment, so God of Hellfire, 3-second time penalty will probably drop him back to P6 or P5, depending on what Henners or Ezzy can do.
Yeah, you think it? Yeah, that would be probably like P7, P6 or P7 as of right now. We're gonna go on board with Henners though. He's gonna try as hard as he wants to tie the championship. Championship lead doesn't seem like a possibility now. He's got to get past God of Hellfire, and then he's got to get past Yoda as well. Not gonna be easy. Doesn't look like it'll happen. Now we're gonna go, sorry, not with Duck Lovers, but with Mikow. Your race leader coming across the line to start the final lap of this Austrian GP. Coming through turn 1, down the long straight. And through the kink that is turn 2, apparently. And down to turn 3 as Henners is definitely close to God of Hellfire. I doubt that as a reserve driver, a consistent reserve driver, but a reserve driver nonetheless, I don't think he's keeping in mind the championship too much. but he's definitely going to make progress here. I'm just going to look. A 5th place finish for Henners would be 10 points. That would put him at 2nd in the championship. Third in the championship. So either way, very good results for Henners. But we're going to go on board with Mikau coming through the final 2 turns. He's been dominant in LOR so far, dominant in assist 2. He's come to assist 1. He's the reserve driver, come across the line, wins in Austria. First race back from the summer break. As Henners will go P4, it's going to be a Williams 3-4. Very impressive for the Williams team, making Claire proud.
Ryan Hammer and Striffium get time penalties.
Penalties. And wow, and that was a very close finish as he's under the safety car. Ironhammer, your game appointed driver of the day.
Yeah, with the time penalties there as well. And Hammer will get the 5-second penalty, and he will finish in P8.
Mikau lifting the trophy.
Shake that champagne. He also picks up the additional point there as the fastest lap. His fastest lap was a 106, almost a 106 flat. So
yeah, I think that was right in the middle of the race.
Yep. Obviously, Duck Lover tried to do anything he possibly can. He did keep the pace with Mikau. They were really close, as you can see towards the end there. Duck Lover's finished almost within a second there of Mikau, so he was put the pressure on the Australian driver, but the Australian driver did not yield at all, so he did remain the top step there. Yoda also kept the pressure with him. All those drivers essentially almost, both Mikau and Duck Lovers had similar strategies there. Yoda swapped the strategy. He boxed a little earlier on the softs and went longer on the mediums, and finished in P3 1.3 seconds off, and then your further grid down there.
Yoon is the only person to make a 1-stop work. Gonna go in that race director, see. No, he did make 2 stops. For some reason, it's just showing 1 stop on the thing.
Munz had started on the hards.
No, it started on softs. Everyone started on softs. It's saying everyone started on softs. I don't think that's true though.
I think Munz started on the hards, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Is it showing you that? No. Okay, that's. Yeah, we apologize for that. 2020, there's still some telemetry issues with the game. But congratulations there. And how does that change up the championship position?
Championship position, Duck Lovers, with Duck Lovers scored 18. That will move him 45 plus, 63. Duck Lovers at the end Henners it'll be Charles Non-Crash, Tipsy, Freeware. No, Charles Non-Crash, Tipsy, Henners, Duck Lovers, Freeware, I believe. No, it'll be, from what I believe, Charles Non-Crash, Tipsy, Henners, Freeware, Duck Lovers. That's what I think it will be. Anyways. Yeah. Definitely a very close championship, as we're gonna head to the interview room. I'm gonna catch everybody there. See what everybody thought of that race. Interviews. Where is it? Thanks. Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you all?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, you just won, mate.
Yeah, no, happy with the result.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the ties were a struggle, but it's just one of the things about this track.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely want to ask Crim Soup. You had some occasional fights out there throughout the race. First with Duck Lovers, if I wasn't mistaken, and then like you, then at one point you kind of fell behind, had to go into the pits. I believe might have been someone else or slightly different circumstances. So you might have to correct me on that. But how was your race experience?
Yeah, it was good. I actually had a spin. I was fighting with Stryfium and Schumacher or Jitty, and yeah, I spun at turn. I don't know what they call it. It's either turn 2 or 3. I think that's the type corner. I think it's turn 3. But yeah, I was having some really good battles, and ties were a struggle, as Mikael said. They like deplete so quickly around Austria. Like on the softs actually you can drive on them for quite a while, but you have to change at some point, obviously. So yeah.
Yeah. What was the experience like with the rain at the end of the race?
That was
anyone.
That was pretty crazy. Yeah, I made the right call to come in at the time that I did. But I had no idea about penalties and things, so I finished P9, I think, on the track, but I was put up to 7th. So I was pretty happy with that, to be fair, after the poor quality session.
Any of the red sorry, I was gonna say something, but I forgot. But I remembered another thing. Iron Hammer, game appointed driver of the day. How does that feel for you?
Feels pretty good. I had a couple unlucky breaks. Got hit twice in like the first lap or first couple laps, so that really put me back. But I had great race pace, and I was able to catch up to the back markers all the way up to like 12th, and then the safety car allowed me to get past the last couple to get up to 8th. I did get an unfortunate not a safety car, pit entrance. I went a little too fast. I couldn't brake because it was wet, so I misjudged it. But otherwise, it was pretty good.
Duck Lovers, tying your best result in LOR so far. Very good race for you. And very entertaining to watch you battle with Cram Soup and Yoda and everyone else.
Yeah, it was an interesting race. There's some contact into turn 3 on like the second lap. I don't think I was at fault of anything, but I think it was Yoda or somebody or Henners, I'm not sure. You spun. And then at the very end, Iron Hammer went into the pits at the safety car, and he was about to be lapped, so I got held up. So I lost second position to, I think it was Yoda. But
Yeah.
I was catching Mikau right at the end. So if I hadn't been stuck up in the pits, I might have had a chance. But I don't know, Mikau's pretty fast. So
Yeah, I had that issue as well. Like lapped car. We at the safety car restart. There was a lapped car, and I passed it because it was in 15th, and I was in like 9th or 8th or whatever, and it nearly penalized me because and I don't know what was going on there. And then it was pretty crazy with all those lapped cars. Pretty confusing.
Yeah, they were just sitting in the way. I don't know what the heck was going on. They were right next to us. They almost hit me off the track once.
Biggles, do you have any questions for the drivers in here?
No, just great racing, everybody. Thank you very much. It's very exciting. First race of the 2020 season. Obviously, changeable conditions at the end, they really kind of mixed it up. So I'm looking forward to see how everything is going to progress as the season develops further. So once again, congratulations, everybody. And thank you very much for your driving skills. And
Yeah, absolutely. One last question. Japan coming up next week, I believe. The Suzuka Circuit. How do you feel? Are you feeling good about that race? Is it one of your strong points? Is it one of your weak points? How are you anticipating that?
If it rains at all, we're all screwed.
Agreed.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be very hard to overtake in some areas. Like It's because most of it's just windy, turny. You know, you're gonna have to really try to at least cut some corners to get past people because it's gonna be really difficult. Go up on the curb, which can cause you to slide, so that just adds to the danger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Japan is it's so hard to get right, but once you do get it right, it's nice. But the first and middle sector are just horrible.
Yep, definitely might see some incidents through the S's. Anyways,
Honestly, for me, it's one of my better tracks. I just love the place. You know, it's a true driver's track. You know, if you get the S's hooked up right, going through sector one, it can be absolutely amazing. And with the new cars, in the new game, you just take it so much faster. And that dreaded bump at the final corner is no longer there. So
I
hoping
still anticipate
discuss it with the team and hopefully get a good result.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely update you with the with the championship and constructors standings as soon as we can. Obviously, we'll be unofficial because the steward reports still have to go in, but we'll update you with that. And good luck for the next race next Saturday in Japan.
Yep, thanks guys. Good race.
That will be it for today. Thank you so very much for watching. Next race, again Saturday in Japan. We also broadcast on Thursdays. Tuesday, we might have another event. Might be NA, might be another. We'll have to figure that out. But yeah, definitely come next Saturday. See if just one drivers go around Japan, and see if Charles Non-Crash can finish a race and defend his championship, or as it will be taken from him. We will see you next time. Bye, everybody.